The reason I started to make art in the first place was to be free from obligation. So the way that I make art is actually, it reflects that because I use anything I want as a material and I don't stick to one thing. So it's really hard to categorize my practice as a coherent thing. What really brings everything together is sort of the ideas that I explore in the work rather than the material choices I make. My name is Erdem Taşdelen, and I'm an artist working within various media and have been practicing as a contemporary artist since 2008. A lot of the work that I make or have made so far has been about the performance of identities and how they come to be recognized as such in social life. And recently, what I've become really interested in is this idea of what makes us human, or what makes a human, or what makes someone be considered not human. And this was the reason that I wanted to work with the idea of feral children, because it's almost this limit that is kind of half human, half not. So I'm just really interested in this idea of who gets to be part of the whole and who's left outside of that, who's marginalized. The project that I'm working on at the Broad Arts Foundation residency is a slide projection with 70 slides. And it is based on a poem that I composed using a book that was published in 1802 in France about a feral child. So what I've done is I've arranged each line of this poem in the Montessori alphabet with these letters, and then took photographs of them and turned them into slides. So it's a slide projection where one gets to read the poem one line at a time. In the story, a physician takes a feral child in and tries to civilize him by teaching him language. And one of the methods that he uses to do so is to actually make use of a toy alphabet to spell out things, even though this is obviously a useless endeavor. So I decided to kind of use the language that was in the book and also use a material that was referenced in the book to compose a poem and lay out these lines and then take photographs. And initially when I started working on it, I didn't think that I would turn it into a slide projection, but I wanted the poem to be read one line at a time. And I realized that the slide projector was the best technology to afford to do that. I want the audience to read the poem or the work one line at a time, because that's essentially how I experienced the text when I picked out these excerpts, because these are not lines that were together, they're just parts that I chose. I don't really want it to be put to speech necessarily. I don't want people to hear it. I want people to read it quietly. And the slide projector also has its own sound, its rhythm of like click, 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 as it goes through the slides, much slower than that, of course. And I kind of want that meditative experience when the audience encounters the work. The reason that I keep making art and what keeps it exciting for me is to try something new every time, to surprise myself, to work on things that I don't necessarily understand or know how to do or am skilled at. So I would like the audience to become familiar with my practice, yes, but I wouldn't want them to know what to expect when they come to see one of my shows. So if they're going to expect something from my practice, I would like them to expect not knowing what to expect.